Hello everyone. So today we'll talk about rebatching soap. Now rebatching is just taking an already made soap and making it into a different soap altogether by adding maybe additional colors, fragrances or other additives. Now there are two main reasons why you might want to rebatch your soap. The first one is to fix a batch of soap that you have made a mistake, okay, a batch of soap that didn't go well. Let's just say a failed batch of soap, okay. And then another reason why you might want to rebatch your soap is to add a heat sensitive ingredient, okay, that might not survive with lye through the saponification. So those are the two main reasons you might want to rebatch your soap. Now there are advantages and disadvantages, all right. Okay, so one advantage of rebatching your soap is it helps you to fix your mistakes, okay. So if you make a batch of soap and it didn't go well, rebatching gives you an opportunity to make that soap again. Another advantage is that you can add fragrance oil or essential oils that usually misbehave in soap. You can add it when you are rebatching your soap and it will still come out very well. Then the disadvantage is that the soap, it really doesn't come out smooth. That is one disadvantage. The rebatch soap is always, it doesn't look smooth, okay, because it will not completely, the soap will not completely melt into a smooth paste like when you do it from the scratch, from the beginning, okay. And also it's actually extra work, okay. You have to go through a very long process to rebatch your soap, so that is a disadvantage of it. All right, so let's see how to rebatch a soap, okay. How to rebatch your soap. So the first step is that you grate your soap. You grate it into pieces. Now it will be easier to grate if the soap is more than a week or 2 weeks. It will be a bit dry. But if your soap is fresh, like maybe you made it just yesterday, you can just cut it into small cubes. That way it will be easier to just pour it and it will melt. Okay, so you need to, after grating, you need to pour it into either a crock pot or you pour it into a saucepan and use the double boiling method. Okay, so after grating your soap, when you pour it into your crock pot or your saucepan, you add a little water. Now you will need more water if the soap has stayed for like 2 weeks or 2 weeks or more, and you will need less water if the soap is fresh, because when it's fresh it means it still have some water in it. All right, so you have to let it, when you pour it in it, you cover it, you cover your either the saucepan or the crock pot and leave it, let it cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. And within this range you have to be stirring it once in a while so it will melt. When it melts to the consistency that you want, you can add color or fragrance to it. So the smaller you grate your soap, the easier it will melt, or the faster it will melt. All right, so when it melts and you add everything you want to add, okay, you pour it immediately into your soap mold, because when you allow it to cool down, it will become hard again. Okay, so you have to pour it immediately into your soap mold and let it sit for at least 24 hours. Okay, you have to smoothen the top very well and then you let it sit for 24 hours. Then you remove it and cut it. So like I said, the rebatch soap don't usually come out too smooth, But when you use old pieces of soap, it's not really when your soap gets spoiled or you make a mistake. You can actually rebatch the small pieces of soap that are left over when you cut your soap, and that one you just get plenty mixed colors and it will look very beautiful. So that is it about rebatching soap. Thank you.